He answered a call, opened the door, and then he never had the chance to close it again. On the morning of February 27th, 2018, in Deltona, Florida, Patrick de la Cerda was waiting for a special moment in his life. He was about to propose to the woman he loved, Jessica Devnani. To do that, he had ordered a custom-made engagement ring, a delicate gift meant for her. But Patrick never got the chance to give it to Jessica. Just a few hours later, the police received an emergency call. When they arrived at the scene, a horrifying sight unfolded. Patrick had been shot right in front of his house, lying on the floor, surrounded by blood. The killer had vanished. The glass door was shattered by bullets, yet there were no signs of forced entry, and nothing had been stolen. This was not a robbery. This was a targeted murder. The first clue emerged when Patrick's father mentioned that he had received a call that morning from an unknown person claiming to be a delivery driver. Patrick left his room to check, and that was the last time he was seen alive. Someone had meticulously planned and executed every detail to ensure that Patrick had no way to escape. But the biggest question remains, who wanted Patrick dead? Why would a young man on the verge of marriage become the target of such a brutal murder? And more importantly, how did the police uncover the person behind this seemingly perfect plan? Join me on this journey to uncover the truth. If you enjoy gripping investigative stories, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next case. The Volusia County Police quickly arrived at Patrick de la Cerda's home. They immediately realized that this was no ordinary murder. The front glass door was shattered, yet there were no signs of forced entry. Everything inside remained untouched. Nothing was stolen. This ruled out the possibility of a robbery. The killer came here with only one purpose: to murder Patrick. A preliminary examination revealed that Patrick had been shot 4 times from outside while standing at his front door. He had no chance to fight back. The shooter had been waiting, hidden, for the perfect moment to strike. Another surprising detail caught the officer's attention. Patrick had installed a security camera system around his house. This could have been a crucial lead in identifying the killer. However, upon inspecting the system, the police discovered that the DVR recording unit had been removed and taken away. This indicated that the killer was familiar with Patrick's security system and had deliberately erased any evidence. At this point, investigators had their first critical clue. Patrick's father, Max, mentioned receiving a strange phone call that morning. The caller claimed to be a delivery driver, saying they had a package for Patrick. Soon after, Patrick opened the door and was shot dead. Had the killer used this as a trap to lure Patrick to the door? And if so, who had the motive to orchestrate such a calculated attack? The police immediately questioned the person closest to Patrick, his fiancée, Jessica Devnani. Despite being devastated by his death, Jessica was determined to help the investigation. When asked if anyone would want to harm Patrick, she did not hesitate to mention one name: Gregory Bender. The mention of this name immediately caught the attention of investigators. Gregory Bender was none other than Jessica's ex-boyfriend. According to her, Bender was controlling, jealous, and violent. After their breakup, he refused to accept that she had moved on with Patrick. Further investigation revealed that Bender had sent threatening messages to both Jessica and Patrick. A restraining order had been issued against him. Just a month before Patrick's murder, someone had fired gunshots near his home, but no one knew who was responsible. Everything pointed to one direction. Gregory Bender had a clear motive to kill Patrick. Although Bender was now the prime suspect, the police needed more concrete evidence to arrest him. Then, an unexpected witness came forward: Gregory Bender's wife. She claimed that she had found a notebook belonging to her husband, containing detailed notes about the murder plan. Acting swiftly, the police obtained a search warrant and moved to raid Bender's home. The police knew that without solid physical evidence, convicting Gregory Bender would be difficult. But when his wife, Damara Sanchez, contacted them and revealed the existence of a suspicious notebook, they immediately took action. She stated that the notebook not only contained Patrick's address, but also a floor plan and detailed instructions on how to carry out the murder. Previously, Bender had told her that it was just a fictional scenario. But when she learned that Patrick had been murdered exactly as described in the notebook, she realized it was a real plan. Based on this revelation, the police swiftly obtained a search warrant for Bender's home. When they searched his office, they discovered a collection of 300 blackout shell casings, the exact type used to kill Patrick. Another critical discovery was found in his office trash bin, crumpled sheets of paper. When smoothed out, they revealed a highly detailed murder plan. The instructions included chilling steps such as wait for the victim to come downstairs, shoot through the glass door, and dispose of the weapon immediately after execution. This was undeniable proof that Patrick's murder was not a spontaneous act, but a meticulously calculated plan. The key breakthrough in the investigation came when officers found a spent shell casing in Bender's desk drawer. When sent for forensic analysis, the results confirmed that it matched the two casings found at the crime scene, creating a perfect link between Gregory Bender and the murder. This further reinforced the prosecution's case that he was the one who pulled the trigger. While Bender had been careful, erasing security footage to cover his tracks, he made a critical mistake, keeping the very evidence that would convict him. On March 1st, 2018, less than 48 hours after the murder, Gregory Bender was arrested and officially charged with first-degree murder. With overwhelming evidence in hand, law enforcement was confident that justice would be served. However, going up against a manipulative man with financial resources like Bender, they knew the trial ahead would be anything but easy. In May 2021, the trial of Gregory Bender finally began, bringing an end to 3 years of suffering and the long wait for justice for Patrick de la Cerda's family. Bender entered the courtroom calm and composed, as if he had no fear of the impending verdict. But all eyes were locked on him, especially Jessica Devnani, the woman who once loved him, but also knew how dangerous he truly was. The prosecution presented the most damning piece of evidence, Bender's notebook, where he had meticulously detailed his brutal murder plan. Every line in that notebook matched exactly how Patrick was killed. Adding to that, forensic experts confirmed that the shell casing found in Bender's home was an exact match to the ones discovered at the crime scene, forming an undeniable link to the murder. All evidence pointed directly at him. Tension in the courtroom escalated when Jessica took the witness stand. She recounted the control, threats, and stalking she endured from Bender, along with the emotional trauma he had inflicted. But she was no longer a helpless victim. This time, she stood before him, facing the man who had destroyed her life, and spoke the truth. Bender remained cold and completely devoid of remorse. But when the prosecutor asked, if the notebook was just fiction, then why was Patrick murdered exactly as written? Swing, the courtroom fell silent. Bender had no answer. After hours of deliberation, the jury reached a verdict. Gregory Bender was guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. For the first time, his expression changed. Gone was the confidence, gone was the arrogance. For a brief moment, shock crossed his face. But it was too late. Justice had prevailed, and he would now pay the price for what he had done. Jessica left the courthouse in tears, not just for the loss of Patrick, but for the closure of a dark chapter in her life. She couldn't bring him back, but at least the man who had destroyed his life would never harm anyone else again. Justice cannot undo the past, but it ensures that the truth will always be protected. Patrick de la Cerda's family could finally breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that the man who took their son's life would never have the chance to harm anyone else again. But the pain of loss remained, and nothing could ever replace the presence of a loved one who was gone forever. Jessica Devnani, who had once lived in fear of Bender, could now move forward without the constant worry of being watched or threatened. Yet, even though he was behind bars, the wounds he left behind were not so easily healed. Patrick was not just her fiancé. He was the man who gave her hope for a happy future. Now, all that remained were memories. Patrick de la Cerda's case was not just a story of jealousy and revenge. It was a warning about domestic violence and obsession. Jessica once believed that ending her relationship with Bender would be enough to make him leave her alone. But his control and fixation never stopped. The warning signs were there from the beginning: threats, possessiveness, harassment. But like many others, she did not fully grasp the danger until it was too late. Justice was finally served, but this case raised a much bigger question. How many people are living in fear because of someone like Bender? And how many victims never get the chance to speak out? Patrick's fight for justice may have ended, but the lessons from his case remain. When faced with signs of abuse or control in a relationship, the most important thing is to not stay silent. Legal action can provide protection, but recognizing the danger from the start is even more crucial. A healthy relationship is built on respect, not control and fear. Patrick may be gone, but his story will not be forgotten. It serves as a reminder that justice may be delayed, but in the end, the truth will always come to light. Those who loved Patrick will always remember him as a young man full of ambition, with a kind heart and a bright future that he truly deserved. Patrick de la Cerda's family must continue on without him, but they find solace in knowing that justice has been served. While they cannot change the past, they hope that Patrick's story will serve as a warning to others about the dangers of toxic relationships. Jessica Devnani, who once lived under Bender's control, can now move forward without fear. Yet, the scars he left behind will always be a part of her life. Though Patrick is gone, her love and memories of him remain a source of strength. Their story is not just a tragedy, it is a lesson in recognizing the warning signs of danger before it is too late. This case also sheds light on a disturbing reality. How many others are in similar situations? How many victims are being controlled and threatened, but feel powerless to speak out? Patrick's justice is not just about punishing Bender. It is a reminder that no one has the right to take away another person's freedom or life out of jealousy or obsession. Patrick's death is a loss that can never be undone, but his story will live on as a testament to the power of justice and the courage of those who fight for the truth.